In 1995, Hollywood unleashed a movie that was supposed to be a daring, erotic thriller. It had a massive budget, a director hot off films like RoboCop and Basic Instinct, and a scandalous NC-17 rating. Instead, it became one of the most spectacular train wrecks in modern film history. This was a movie so hated it nearly destroyed careers, left critics speechless, and swept the Golden Raspberry Awards.
What are you gonna do, watch TV and eat chips?
Yeah. Where are the chips?
Walking away with a staggering 7 Razzies, including Worst Picture. That movie was Showgirls. But here's the thing, nearly 30 years later, Showgirls is more alive than ever. It's a midnight movie staple, a cult phenomenon celebrated by queer audiences, and a home video juggernaut that reportedly earned over $100 million in rentals. So what's the real story with Showgirls? Was it a misunderstood satire of the American dream that was just way ahead of its time? Or is it simply 2 hours of glorious, glitter-soaked trash? On the surface, the story is pure Hollywood formula. A young, fiercely ambitious woman named Nomi Malone, played by Elizabeth Berkley, hitchhikes to Las Vegas with just a switchblade and a dream of dancing on the big stage.
What are you going to Vegas for? You gonna win?
I'm gonna dance.
But from the moment Nomi steps on screen, the movie sets a tone that is, well, unique. Nomi isn't your typical girl next door. She's feral, aggressive, and has a habit of exploding in the most bizarre ways. Within minutes of arriving, she's screaming at the guy who gave her a ride, declaring they eat doggy chow at different places. This isn't just clunky dialogue, it's the movie announcing exactly what it is. The performances are cranked up to 11, the lines are baffling, and the emotions seem to be beamed in from another planet. And this is where the central debate begins. Is this a clever portrayal of a woman hardened by a traumatic past? Or is it just plain bad acting and writing? Nomi quickly befriends Molly, a kind costume designer at the Stardust Casino, and gets a job at a seedy strip club. This is where director Paul Verhoeven's vision of Las Vegas really takes shape. It's not glamorous or sexy, it's garish, cheap, and all about the transaction. The dancing isn't erotic, it's frantic, almost violent. At the time, critics called it boring and exploitative, wondering how Verhoeven made a movie with so much nudity so completely sexless. But now, many argue that was the entire point, to pull back the curtain on the fantasy and show the hollow, mechanical reality of selling your body for a paycheck. Nomi's raw, aggressive style gets her noticed by 2 very important people, Zach, the entertainment director at the Stardust, and Crystal Connors, the undisputed queen of the Vegas stage, played with an icy cool by Gina Gershon. What happens next is a twisted, funhouse mirror version of All About Eve, as Nomi claws her way into the lead role in the big show, Goddess. The dynamic between Nomi and Crystal is the real core of the film, a toxic mix of mentorship, seduction, and pure hatred. This is where the movie's most iconic scenes live, and where you can find evidence for every theory about it, from satire to camp to pure incompetence. Take the legendary lunch scene. Crystal and Nomi somehow bond over their shared history of eating dog food. It's a moment so utterly strange it's hard to wrap your head around. Is it a deep commentary on their animalistic ambition, or just one of the weirdest scenes ever written?
I've had dog food.
You have?
Long time ago.
And then there's the dialogue. When Zach buys Nomi a dress, she thanks him by proudly announcing, "Thanks, I got it at Versace." The line delivery is iconic. It's a hilarious mispronunciation that could either be a sharp jab at wannabe consumerism or just a funny mistake.
Nice dress.
Thanks. It's a Versace.
It's Versace.
What?
Paul Verhoeven, famous for his satirical work like Starship Troopers, always insisted Showgirls was a morality tale about a corrupt, hypocritical world. He later said he intentionally pushed his actors, especially Berkley, toward those over-the-top performances to create a feeling of heightened, artificial reality. He says if anyone's to blame for the performance that got so much hate, it's him. And you can't forget the pool scene. Nomi and Zach's infamous lovemaking session is a masterclass in unintentional comedy. They thrash around in the water like a pair of malfunctioning animatronics. It's been called one of the least sexy sex scenes in movie history. Which again makes you wonder, was Verhoeven parodying Hollywood's gratuitous sex scenes, or did he just completely miss the mark? So it's pretty clear the film is a beautiful, baffling disaster. Is it so bad it's good? Or is it a misunderstood work of art? Before we get to the film's dark turn and its wild legacy, if you're enjoying this exploration of cinematic chaos, maybe consider subscribing for more videos that break down the best, worst, and weirdest films out there. For the first two-thirds, Showgirls lives in this state of high camp absurdity. It's ridiculous, but it's a ton of fun. Then, the movie takes a shockingly dark turn that makes you rethink everything. Nomi's best friend Molly is brutally assaulted by a visiting rock star. The scene is played for straight, horrifying drama, a violent shift from the cartoonish tone of the rest of the film. For many viewers, this is where the satire argument completely falls apart. They argue the scene is just gratuitous and cruel, a misogynistic plot point in a film that's already on thin ice with its depiction of women. But defenders see it as Verhoeven's most vicious critique. In the world of Showgirls, cruelty is the whole point. It's a place where kindness gets you punished, and predators, shielded by fame and money, never face consequences. It was a shocking theme in 1995, but it feels eerily familiar today. Nomi's revenge is just as brutal. She doesn't call the cops. She takes the guy down herself in a savage, ugly beatdown. It's not a moment of heroic victory, but one of desperate violence. In the end, after finally reaching the top and becoming the star of Goddess, Nomi walks away from it all. She packs her bag and hitches a ride out of Vegas, ending her story right where it began. But this time, she's leaving a trail of wreckage behind her. The American dream, according to Showgirls, isn't a dream at all. It's a nightmare you're lucky to escape. When it was released, Showgirls was an undisputed disaster. It bombed hard, making just over $20 million at the box office on a $45 million budget. Elizabeth Berkley, fresh off the squeaky clean sitcom Saved by the Bell, watched her career implode. She was dropped by her agent and publicly shamed for a performance that her director had largely orchestrated. But then, something amazing happened. The movie found a second life on VHS. It became one of MGM's biggest home video sellers, reportedly pulling in over $100 million from rentals. Midnight screenings started popping up, with audiences shouting the iconic lines at the screen. The queer community especially adopted the film, celebrating its campy style, over-the-top drama, and Nomi's journey as a fierce, misunderstood outsider. Suddenly, the film's biggest weaknesses became its greatest strengths. The bad acting was now camp. The awful plot was surreal. The sleaze was subversive. Decades later, Showgirls exists in a category all its own. It's still on lists of the worst films ever made, but it's also been the subject of serious academic essays and praised by respected filmmakers.
Nice dress.
Thanks. I bought it at Versace.
Paul Verhoeven even showed up to the Razzies to accept his award for Worst Director, proving he was in on the joke, even if it took the rest of us a while to catch on. And Elizabeth Berkley, after years of being defined by the backlash, has finally embraced the film's cult status, even attending anniversary screenings and thanking the fans who gave her that full circle moment. So, is Showgirls a cult classic or just sleaze? The only real answer is that it's both. It's a failed satire that, because it failed so spectacularly, accidentally became one of the most successful and beloved camp masterpieces of all time. It set out to prove the American dream was a hollow, glittering lie, and in its own magnificent failure, it ended up proving its own point. But that's my take. Where do you stand on the great Showgirls debate? Is it misunderstood art, sleazy exploitation, or the camp classic we never knew we needed? Let me know what you think down in the comments.